writing notes on what to say to organize myself. Because I usually improv everything I say in my videos, and that usually takes a lot of time. So I'm going to start being more organized and actually note stuff to keep myself on track.
Hey guys, if you've been here a long time, you'd know that I try to do a series where I would tell you about different dreams that I've had. But if you've also been here a long time, you would also know that I'm bad at consistency. I'm trying to fix myself, so here I am telling you about a dream that I had the other night. My mind is really weird when it comes to dreams. I'll have times where I won't remember a dream for about a month and I'll just sleep. And then I'll have times where I'll remember about 4 dreams a night, and it's an eventful time, and those are my favorite times. But this dream resulted in me waking up in the middle of me sobbing. I work at a restaurant called Mr. Mac's. We are a mac and cheese restaurant and we sell mac and cheese, and it's great. I'm a dishwasher, as in I wash dishes, and it's a good time. It's fun. I love my job. I really do. Sometimes it can be kind of agonizing, but I work with really great people, so it makes up for it. This dream I had really opened my eyes about how much I actually like my job. It started out with me working up front, which is something that I haven't done in a very long time. I moved from being a counter associate to working out back because I struggle with speaking to new people and talking to people that I don't know and all that stuff, and it kind of got me in a little bit of trouble, so I moved out back and I've been doing a lot better there. So I was working up front, and I guess this lady broke one of our tools. I don't know how that could have happened, but she did. And my manager decided to give her this giant wad of cash and was like, hey, go out and buy us a new one. And she's like, okay. And she grabs this giant wad, like probably this big, out the restaurant to go buy us a new, I think it was like a spoon, like a giant spoon thing. And it's weirdly specific spoon. It's always a spoon that gets left behind when we're trying to close up and it's too late to clean it. But anyways, she left with the money to go buy us a new spoon. And she comes back and she's like, I can't do this, I'm sorry. And she hands me the money, and I said out loud what I meant to say in my head, and I said, you weren't gonna do what I thought you were gonna do with this money, were you? As in, you weren't gonna go out and take this money for yourself, were you? So I accused her of potentially almost stealing from us. And she was like, what? No. And she went back to her seat with her family. Turns out her husband is the owner of the restaurant, but not the actual owner in reality. He's just some guy that I've never seen before who's apparently the owner. I don't know. My manager comes up to me and he says, he wants to talk to you. And I'm like, oh no, I accused his wife of stealing. Okay. So I walk up to him. He's sitting in this very arrogant position, and he's got that kind of attitude where he thinks he's better than everyone, so he doesn't really say much. You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it, but he's just like, what are you doing? And I'm like, so I'm trying to explain to myself that, hey, people do this sometimes. I don't know, it's kind of scary to just give some random person money, not knowing who they are, and expect him to buy something for somebody else with all his cash. And I'm trying to explain myself, and I forget what happened next. I think I messed up. I think I dropped a skillet of food or something. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. And he looks at me and he's like, you're done. And I'm like, what? He's like, you're done. Get out. And I'm like, and so I was just fired by this owner who's really mean that I've never seen before. And I was like, okay. And I quickly rushed out back and I started bawling. I was like, and I was like crying so hard, and I had to be comforted by everybody, and I was bawling out back, and it was the most depressing thing. And I woke up still sobbing. It wasn't like I woke up and I was so upset about that I started crying. I woke up in the middle of I was sobbing in my sleep. And that's the most depressing thing ever, because I actually do love my job. This is something that I've never truly felt before, loving a job. I've had a few jobs before this one, and in each one I've never actually felt at home, per se. For example, I worked at my first job for about 6 months, and towards the end I still felt like I was a new employee, because I didn't talk to anybody that I worked with, nobody wanted to talk to me, and I was kind of an outsider throughout the entire time, and I felt pushed aside. And at my second job, I worked in retail, and everybody just made me feel stupid. At my next job, I felt slightly belittled. I worked with really nice people there, but I felt like they didn't understand that it takes me more time than other people to get the hang of things and to interact with new people and all that kind of situations that I have. When I started working at Mr. Max, I felt a lot more appreciated. Like, I actually felt like I was being treated like a person rather than just an employee that could easily be replaced. Which is something my manager at my first job has actually said in front of everybody during a staff meeting, that we can leave whenever we want to and we can be easily replaced because we are not special to them. That's not something that you say to your employees. That's not how you get people to work for you. Just saying. I got fired that night. Anyways, no, I got fired because they didn't like my mellow personality. They didn't like that I wasn't hyper and all over the place, even though I told them prior to them hiring me that I was very shy. But this isn't about ranting about my first job. I love the people I work with. I work with such friendly people who are so encouraging to anyone that they are working with, and they're always telling me that I'm doing such a good job. Sam, you're doing great, you're doing awesome, keep going. When I'm having an off day, and sometimes it's the days where I have to work a little bit longer than I originally anticipated on, they can tell when I'm getting frustrated, and they're always quick to say, Sam, you're doing awesome, Sam, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm not used to that. In most events of my life, I've always felt like I was looked down on, and I've always felt like I was being set up to fail, like in my past jobs, and in school, and in normal life situations. In school, I was always viewed as the dumb kid by my teachers. They always thought I was such a good kid, but I'm kinda stupid. I was told that I was gonna go nowhere in life. I was told that their expectations were much higher. And I've never felt very confident in school, which probably didn't help my focus on my work. When I started on Dish, my second day, it was a Friday night and we were extremely packed, and I had to work by myself since the other dishwasher had to help prepping the food. And mind you, it was my second time being on Dish. So I was all over the place, and they ended up giving me free food. The next time I worked, one of my managers came up to me telling me that they talked about me in a manager meeting, and they were talking about how such an awesome job I did and how proud they were of me. And after I clocked out, I sat in my car and I just cried, and I cry a lot. I cried because I was not used to feeling such appreciation from other people. They always tell me how proud they are of me and how much they appreciate me doing what I do. They always reward me with free food and stuff. It's very rare, especially at a young age, for someone to like everybody that they work with. And I can definitely say that I like everybody that I work with. I just work with really lovely people, and I don't know what else to say. I just love my job. I really do. If you live in the Tingsboro area, I definitely recommend visiting Mr. Max. They're such awesome people, and I just love being there. Sometimes, obviously, I don't like working sometimes, and I get a little bit tired and grouchy, and everybody knows that. I get grouchy when I want to go home and I'm tired. But all in all, I definitely love my job, and I hope to stay there as long as I possibly can, because I appreciate everybody that I work with and everybody that I work for.
I'm so sappy.
I don't think I'm a sentimental person, but I love my job. It's such a foreign thing for me to say. I've never said that I love my job, or I love my school, or I love anything other than a hobby, or a show, or a taste in music, or food. I've never said that I loved something that I have to do. I've never loved an essential, ever. So saying that I love my job is such a weird thing for me.
But I really do appreciate it.
Like, for example, there's just as an example to show how nice my managers and the people that I work with are. I originally was supposed to go into work at 1 o'clock today. I don't know what time it is. I think it's like 12. But somebody who was supposed to let me go home the next shift called out. And I knew about this already last night because I saw the shift go up
To be taken, to be covered.
and I was like, okay, I'm gonna end up being there till 11 o'clock. And I was a little bit unexcited because who wants to work washing dishes for 11 hours? I then got a call from one of my managers a few hours ago, and he's like, "Hey Sam, so-and-so called out for tonight. Would you be able to stay? I'm so sorry that we've been doing this to you for the past 2 weeks." And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw that last night, and I already anticipated on staying." It's like, "Okay, thanks. You can come in at 2 or 2:30 instead of 1 if you want. We want to give you that extra hour since we've been doing this to you for the past few weeks." And I was like, "Okay, are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Alright, thanks. I'll see you at 2. And if you're looking for a new job and you're willing to work at a restaurant, I definitely recommend working at Mr. Max in Kingsborough, Mass. Because we're always hiring, and you should apply to be a dishwasher. You can hang out with me. It's such a great place. I can't express enough how awesome that place is and how awesome the people are. And some people that I work with know that I have a YouTube channel, so if they see this, it might be a little bit awkward. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry if this was like a bit of a ramble. I kind of just barfed my words. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe down below to see more. And comment any suggestions on what kind of video you'd like me to make next. And I will be sure to do that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep smiling. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.